Welcome to the DIVALUTION, a show to empower, enlighten, and entertain divas and those that love us. And here's your host, Deb St.Hilaire.
We have a secret. Hey, welcome to the DIVALUTION show tonight. Happy May. It's so nice that it's May, although if you look outside, it's more like fall. I've been dressing like fall instead of like spring, but that's okay, right?
Yeah, it's pretty nippy out there yet.
So we have with us in the studio tonight two men, which is very unusual. This is like deja vu all over again. One of them is the Brewing Ninja. I got it right. From Tri-City Brewing Company, Jay Green. Welcome, Jay.
Hello, hello.
That was the same thing you said last time.
I'm just trying to repeat a good show, you know. We started off pretty good at first.
Thank you. It was going quite well. And our second guest this evening is Gil Urban from Forever Green Valley Nursery. Welcome.
Thank you.
He's making his debut appearance. How long have you been doing your Green Valley Nursery?
I have been doing Forever Green Valley Nursery for, 25 years. I've had my own company, and I've been in the business for 35 years plus.
And you've learned a lot, I'm sure, throughout the years. And
oh, very much, and it never ends.
Oh, there's always something to learn, isn't there?
Absolutely.
And what about you, Jay? How long have you been a brew ninja?
I've been brewing a little over a decade now.
Well, that's a long time. So I'm going to ask you a couple questions. How did that beer that you gave us was delicious, by the way? It reminded me of the beer my dad used to drink.
Yeah, that one's a little bit lighter, a little bit crisper. A little sweetness in the back from the malt.
And what's the name of it?
That is our Loon Summer Ale.
And you sell that at Tri-City Brewing Company, right?
Yes, that's sold at Tri-City Brewing Company and also in the bottle.
So how do you make it light as opposed to dark? What's the difference?
Basically, the grains you use. Just like coffee, the grains get roasted. Some will get roasted darker than
I didn't
others.
know that.
As they roast, they'll get like a coffee or chocolate kind of flavors to them.
That's
and that's where
interesting.
your dark beers come from.
I would you take me on a tour sometime?
Absolutely.
Oh, I would so love that. Okay, good. So you've been doing it for 10 years. How did you start? Did you start like in a garage or a basement or something?
Yes. A friend came to me and said that let's make some beer. And, of course, you want to know if it's legal and if you're going to get in trouble if you're doing this. And
is it like bootlegging?
Well, actually, Jimmy Carter was the president that made home brewing legal again back in the 70s.
Is that right? So not until then.
Not until then. Yeah, after Prohibition, you could brew it professionally, but you were not allowed to ever brew beer at home until 1974. 74 or 75, I believe it was.
Huh.
Well, isn't that because of his brother? His brother had Billy Bob.
Well, and that's his brother was interested in it, and that's where it all stemmed from. Yes, yes.
So we owe this whole craft beer thing to Billy Bob Carter.
Yeah, he had something to do with it in some way. Yes,
that's so funny. So you started, and what were some of the things that you used? Did you build your own stuff, or
a lot of it are equipment that we built ourselves because we were, didn't have a lot of money at the time to put in a new hobby.
So how did you figure it out? How did you know what to do? Or do ninjas just know?
It comes natural. Yeah. A lot of books. The internet wasn't really available to us yet at the time, like
that
it
would
is
have
now.
been handy.
But we belong to a homebrew club. Guys that have been doing it for 20 years.
So you exchange ideas.
Try different beers. They would try your beer and tell you, okay, if your temperature was different, or if you use this grain instead of that grain. It's just like a bunch of cooks getting together.
That's interesting. How fun that must have been. So nice, gentle critiques of each other's beer.
Absolutely. One interesting thing about the brewing industry is we're very collaborative. We want each other to do better. We want each other to try new things. And
Oh, good.
And if something's wrong with our beer, I hope one of my colleagues would tell me and not just bash it. And
Right.
that's something very different you don't see in many industries.
No, that's a nice thing to know. That makes me like craft beer even more, actually. So, what were some of the mistakes that you made?
Oh, there's always the two most important things in brewing is being clean, making sure everything's sanitized, and temperature control has a big part in the happiness of the yeast, making sure that the yeast is going to survive. If it's fermented too hot, you're going to get really almost a hot burn in your throat from the alcohol.
Oh.
If you've ever tasted cheap vodka,
Yeah.
you know that burn that goes down. It's just terrible. It's the higher alcohols that are produced from higher temperatures. And
So how do you learn that right temperature? By reading and
a lot
just
of reading,
trying?
a lot of trial and error. A lot of the stuff. Brewing's been around for thousands of years, so you just have to go out there and seek out the information. Now there's colleges and schooling that you can go to. But for the longest time, it was one school in Wisconsin and one in California. That was it in the United
Wow.
States.
So it's come a long way in just this little bit of time, because it seems
Absolutely.
like everybody's making craft beer anymore.
It has grown a lot.
Yeah.
We actually just now, last year, I believe, reached the number of breweries that we had before Prohibition.
Wow. So it took a while.
It took almost 100 years
Wow.
to recover completely, yes.
Wow, that just amazes me. So beer is a big thing in the summer. I mean, I think that even people that don't usually drink beer will have a couple beers in the summer. What is a good summer beer?
Well, Loon Summer Ale, of course. Also,
So a lighter beer.
typically lighter beers, lighter, crisper beers, so a lot of your fruitier beers. Traditionally, wheat beers are very popular in German brewing.
So
Come out in the spring and
if
summer.
you have more wheat than hops, it turns.
Well, all your cereal grains are used in beer, but typically wheat is one that gives it a very distinct character. And a lot of Germans they don't use anything but barley. So it's either barley, wheat, rye. Then if you get into your American domestic beers, they use a lot of rice because there's light and almost no flavor. So they're not importing a lot of flavor, but you're getting the sugars that you need to make alcohol.
How great that is. That
Yeah,
is
that's
really
very
science.
interesting.
Yeah.
So when people say, I've heard people say that beer is hoppy. What does that taste, a hoppy beer?
Hoppy beers, you're going to, depending on where the hops were grown, but it's either going to be earthy or citrusy, grapefruit flavors.
So that
come through
comes
sometimes.
from where they're grown?
A lot of the strain and where they're grown can be a big factor in the taste of the hops and the amount of hops that are added to the beer. Hoppier beers, like your IPAs, have a lot more added throughout the process.
So the IPA. So now I know what that hoppy tastes like, because
Yes.
I like IPAs myself. But there's a lot of people that don't.
That little bit of bitterness, that little bit of almost.
I like
citrus
that
fruit.
aftertaste.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, and it makes you crave more.
Oh.
Makes you thirsty for more.
Why it does that. I didn't know that's why it did it, but that's why it does that.
Yeah, it kind of dries your tongue out a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes you
It
thirsty.
makes you go,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
And that's
hoppy beers are very,
interesting.
very interesting. That's the one beer that makes you want more than other beers.
So what's your favorite beer right now?
My favorite right now, that's a hard one to pick sometimes. I love our Brown Hoist, Nut Brown. Even though it's out of season, it's typically more of a fall winter beer.
But will they serve it at the brewery?
Oh yeah,
all year?
we've
good.
served it almost year round.
Oh, good.
That's been a pretty popular one. One that I'm liking right now that I brought with us, that we'll try here in a little bit, is our cream stout, milk bottle stout. It actually has lactose in it to kind of give it like a creaminess to it. Tastes
Creaminess.
almost like coffee with cream kind of taste to it.
Oh,
Yeah.
I look forward to
Quite
that.
a bit different than these other two beers that I brought.
Very interesting. So that's good that you brought us that wide range of flavors. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
So are you a married guy?
Yes, sir.
You have children?
I have a daughter. Yes,
So you celebrate Mother's Day.
absolutely.
Good. We're going to talk about Mother's Day a little bit. We're going to visit with Gil here. So Gil, What's your favorite part about your profession?
I just love the plant world, trees, bushes, shrubs, flowers, just love it all.
Huh. So you have to study a lot to know what to plant where, and you take care of trees too. How do you learn all that?
Well, we used to have these things called books, and I used to read a lot of books, but now that they're a thing of the past, you know.
No, they're not.
Well, they do look pretty on your shelf
They
over
do.
there. But yeah, I was pretty much self-taught. I did have some schooling, but it was mostly just classes here and there. Nothing as a formal education in the business. I actually went to college for business degree, but never made it through. But now you have your own business, so it doesn't even matter anymore. Yeah, and that stuff they teach in school, it really doesn't apply to reality.
A lot of it doesn't.
No, it's when you're in the real world, you're
in the real world.
Exactly.
So you like all kinds. What's your favorite kind of plant?
Oh, pretty much trees. I love trees more than anything. In one of my past employments, I was actually the tree doctor, and all I did was specifically work on trees. And
I bet that was really fun.
Oh, it was. Trees are just a remarkable thing to me. They're very complex, interesting, beautiful, and I just really. That's kind of what pushed me in the direction of this business. But then when I went out on my own, I kind of had to expand out and do the whole gamma.
Right. So you learned everything. You had to learn everything.
I'm still learning. I don't know everything. I never will know everything.
Right.
But I'm trying.
It's easier to look things up now.
Absolutely. You just push the buttons.
It's so much easier. So I know that you helped our tree with ash board. Is that a disease or it's a bug? Do you consider it a disease?
No, it's an insect, and it's not native to North America.
How did it get here?
It came over. Well, yeah, it wasn't the Mayflower, but that's kind of about the same story. It came over on some, I believe, Christmas trees from China or somewhere like that, and they got loose and took off and went.
They've ruined it's amazing how many trees.
They've devastated the ash trees in Michigan.
Yeah.
There used to be so many. Well, you know where I live. There used to be so many down there. I mean, you could just see them one after the other after the other. And just in the past 3 years, from what I can see, we've lost like 6 or 7.
Oh, you can go up north, and there's miles of dead ash trees. I mean, it looks haunting in the summertime.
Because there's nothing. There's no
just
leaves
dead
on
trees,
them.
yeah.
Dead trees. And to watch them die is very painful. We have one that we can't save, and every year it has a few less leaves on it, and it's so sad.
It is. It really is. And from what I'm seeing is even the ones that we're treating, it just seems like we're prolonging the inevitable because even the ones that we're treating are slowly declining.
Oh, and they're such big, beautiful trees. That must be heartbreaking for you to watch that.
It is.
That's really terrible. So you also do lawn care, and what else do you like about it? Do you like actually planting the plants and getting dirty?
I do. I love getting out and getting dirty and getting my hands in the dirt, and I love working on trees. But all that has, when you own the business, it's almost like you have a whole different set of daily duties instead of actually getting out there and doing it. So
it's almost a treat when you get to play in the dirt, isn't it?
It certainly is.
I hear you. So that's really cool. And you've been doing it for 25 years on your own. That's impressive. Yep. And you are a family man as well.
Yes, I am.
Didn't somebody just go to prom here recently?
Yeah, my daughter, she's a senior over at Garber, and she had her big prom night.
And her dress was so pretty, and
we went all the way to Dallas, Texas to find it.
Yeah.
Why did you go to Dallas, Texas to find it?
Well, that's kind of a joke. We were actually, our conference for our Not Sad family was in Dallas, so they have an incredible mall called